Hey guys, I just want to give you a quick overview of the new Blender add-on, the Inspector. It allows you to view the actual values of the geometry nodes. So let's go into the geometry node editor and create a new node. And let me increase the size a little bit. All right, you can already see that we now can see what is inside the node. So 34 vertices, 80 edges, and 48 faces. Over here at the top right of the header in the geometry nodes editor, you can see the inspector settings where you can disable or enable it, do a manual update, and then here you have more settings. You can disable auto update, for example, change the frequency and so on. I will go over those now. So let's create a random example setup. Let me say, for example, instance on points. Let's add a point node. So if there's no data in it, then nothing will be displayed. Let's instance our cube on a point. We can also add multiple points. And we can see already that up here, the value is being shown. And if it's not the actual value, you need to do a manual update. That's just a technical limitation. This also comes into play with the frequency. So if you put it to 100 milliseconds, the values get updated way more frequently. You can see it up in the display. If I set it to 1 second, you can see it only gets updated once a second. This helps to mitigate slowness if you have a huge mesh or a large geometry nodes editor. So let's set it back to 200 milliseconds. I found that, at least for my setup, a good value. All right, so we can see that 58 points are getting instanced into 58 instances, and each of the instances is a cube. So if we now realize our instances, we should see this times 58. And indeed, those are all the vertices, edges, and faces now in here. All right, if I mute the node, also nothing happens to it, so we don't display any data. Next thing to note is if I hide the node, I can choose to show the values of hidden nodes or not in here. And also above that, I can change to only show selected nodes. So for example, I have this node selected and it shows the value or values of those nodes if I select multiple like that. I can select whatever I want. And also I can add reroutes. Let me go back to show all of them. I can add reroutes and I can say, okay, include the display of the reroutes or exclude or show me only the reroutes. This is helpful because, for example, if you have complex node tree setups and you have your nodes all over the place coming in and going out, but if you are working on something, you are like more zoomed in. So you can have your reroutes here and you can see, okay, that's the actual data coming in and going out. Okay, let me get those things close together again. All right. Let's add a random value node for now and change it to vector so we can have a randomly applied scale. You can see here, this is a field value. So if we hover over the socket, we don't see any values inside. For non-field values like this geometry socket here, we do see what's inside. So the advantage of the inspector is, one of the advantages is that you can see what's actually inside the fields. This shows the value for the first indice, and this is the value for the last indice. The other way to do that is to open a spreadsheet and to connect viewer nodes to a geometry socket and a value. But then you can only see the values for one field. This way you have the overview of the whole graph. All right, and if we update it, and also the values update, of course. And the next thing we can do is, for example, we want to change the seed. And we say, okay, let the seed be the frame number. So we can see that the display also updates. All right, that's it so far. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feature requests, feedback, whatever, please let me know. The link for the Blendermarket product page is in the description, and see you all next time. Bye bye.